All right. The this is the conscious paradox exposed. Okay, so understanding that the universe is vibrational frequencies of energy, that the pivotal point of all existence derives from intelligent energy that produces frequencies that then produces what we call matter. So the bushes, the trees, everything that exists from energy is a frequency. It's a certain frequency within itself, within its own, and that's what produces the life itself. So what we call a tree is just a name, that's just an idea. Ideas are something that we have come up with to speak about with the objective reality, but ultimately the tree, the bush, is the intelligence of the source, which also is just a name to identify to something that is real, that we exist from, whatever anybody wants to name it. But with that being said, if you take away the name itself, it's just the intelligence of vibrational frequencies of energy that produces this design of what we call matter, which ultimately all of it derives from a pivotal point of source energy. And to understand our perception of reality and the conscious paradox that exists today due to us using two perceptual views of intelligence, where we have produced artificial intelligence and organic intelligence today, is to understand that everything is an element in essence, or a tree or a bush or grass. Ultimately, you got solid, gases, and or liquids. You can't take a solid and measure a gas, or a gas and measure a liquid, or a liquid and measure a solid, because it's its own element within its own spectrum, and we're going to call that a light spectrum. Now, you can break a branch off a tree and say that this quantity measurement, which quantity is a part of organic intelligence, measuring it to another length of grass or another bush or something, but there's no artificial measurements being used. And within the shadow spectrum, which artificial measurement systems, you can't take calculus and measure algebra, or algebra and measure time, or time and measure geometry, because it's its own element within its own spectrum. And you can't take the light spectrum and measure the shadow spectrum, because light casts out shadow. And the only reason why we can take the shadow spectrum of artificial measurements and measure the light spectrum is because we have been taught that those artificial measurements are organic, and or to use them, but they're not organic intelligence at all. And that, to be able to differentiate between the two, and how our certain systems that we have in place that is produced from organic intelligence, but it produces artificial intelligence through artificial measurement systems.